Former CIA contractor Shawn Ryan shares with Tucker Carlson a Trump story that I think many will find nice and pleasant, and some other fun nuggets too. So we are going to get right into it, folks. It's going to be good. But first, do me a huge favor, like our video and share it around so we can keep bringing you all this great, hard-hitting content. As always, Patriots, I'm your host, Darian, and this is Resist the Mainstream.
Finally get the exposure that they needed to actually get some type of traction. And
you interviewed Trump for hours, I think. How long was that interview?
well, 1 hour.
1 hour.
Yeah, a little over. He was like, I don't know, 70 minutes or something.
What'd you think of him?
I really liked him. I wasn't expecting him to be as personal as he was, you know, and when he met everybody on my team and made it a point to, it wasn't like shaking somebody's hand and talking to his assistant or, you know, it was direct eye contact, wanted to meet the entire team. There was 3 NFL stars in there that came in to meet him. And, as soon as I walked in the room, he didn't care about him, came right over, introduced himself. I mean, it was very personable. And then after the interview, sat down in a room and talked with us. And it was really, I was happy. I was more happy that he treated my team with respect. And, cause, you know, you see a lot of people that are like, oh, you're just the help. And it's like, no, that's like who makes the whole thing.
Right, exactly.
So, you know,
right.
And so I really appreciated that. You know, it was, you never really know what you're going to get.
I have to say, this is very unsurprising. Trump is, from my understanding, a very generous and kind guy to meet in person. He just is. You know, I've heard so many stories, countless stories of, you know, Trump back in the day, way before he was running for president or there was any PR thing. I guess he was doing PR. That's a stretch. But he would go and tip valets like $100 casually. Just be like, oh, here you go. I mean, that's amazing. That can really, you know, that can make a huge difference for people. There's a story of a lady who used to work at the Trump Hotel, and tragically, I don't want to misquote this, but I believe a family member of his, close family member, I believe it was either her child or her husband, but ended up with cancer. She was so sad. Trump ended up finding out about it and said, I'm paying for the whole thing. You know, don't worry about any treatment. And I mean, it's disgusting to think that can bankrupt you, but that's a whole nother conversation. But to think that Trump was right there, ready to step in and do that, it's incredible. It's amazing. He's so friendly in person. You can see it in the interactions. You know, they're on camera. You can see when Trump meets regular people, and you can tell it's not scripted, I think. And people validate that much off camera too. You know, Trump will be very kind, very warm. He's super charismatic. He's hilarious. All around, just a great guy to hang out with. Kamala Harris, on the other hand, is, many say, not so great to hang out with, and a little bit awkward, a little bit weird, a little bit insufferable, a little bit cackly. You know, kind of like Hillary Clinton, except, you know, half Jamaican and half Indian, if you catch my drift. And Shawn Ryan actually has an experience of his very own with Kamala, however you say her name. Let's see what he has to say.
I was amazed to find out, I don't know if it's public, but you came very close to booking Kamala Harris.
Mm-hmm.
How'd that come about?
Well, I mean, who was the first candidate? I think it was either DeSantis. DeSantis wasn't in studio. And it's the only Zoom interview I've ever done.
What'd you think of him?
I mean, as far as like a person, it was like 15 minutes, man. So I don't have a gauge. I like a lot of the stuff that he's done down in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
That's a nice way of saying, I don't really like the guy. I mean, let's be real. DeSantis is not the most charismatic guy ever. Unlike the Big Don. Just saying.
All of it. And, but that I know of, I don't know everything, but I had said at the beginning, I'll interview any presidential candidate. I don't care what side they're on. I'm not going to blast you, but I think it's important that people know who that person is, whether we talk about politics or not. Like with RFK, we talked about his heroin addiction and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, it gives you a little more background on how they grew up, what their values are as a person, not just some soundbite, you know, that's fed to them. And so I wanted to interview people on the other side of the fence too. And I really wanted Kamala to come on. And so
I think it's Kamala.
Whatever. And
I think that's
it's irrelevant at this
As he
point.
gets racist, you just call it Kamala.
But
You can tell Ryan is just not having it with Tucker's jokes. He doesn't find it funny, but hey, like Shawn Ryan said, you got to be polite when you're on someone's podcast, right? In both directions. So just kind of funny.
but so we got in touch with her camp. We didn't hear anything. We did a couple of press releases and to maybe pressure her into it a little bit.
Nice.
And she took it seriously, and she watched. I was told she watched. She spent the night going through particular interviews and liked the way that I interviewed and liked my style, and she wanted to do it. And they asked, what do I want to talk about? And I said, well, I think we should definitely talk about the Afghan withdrawal and the Taliban funding. I'm pretty much initiated that entire conversation that developed into what it is. And me and my guests. And they didn't want to talk about that.
Who would want to talk about Biden's botched withdrawal in Afghanistan? Let's not forget how many Americans ended up dead. I think something like 11 American soldiers lost their lives after it. And Biden basically didn't even care about the families or care to contact them. Truly disgusting stuff.
I said, well, it's going to look bad on me if I don't talk about that because I've been hammering this damn thing for a year now. Over a year, I think. But I was like, all right, well, what do you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about national security? They're like, what do you think you disagree on her the most on? Told them. And
what was it?
The gender stuff with kids. That was my biggest thing. And I don't really care about adults, that do it, but you can't give a kid the keys to do that. At that age, and 8 years old. 8 years old. Was it Washington? That's like the state will come in and take your kid from you if you don't do it, if they want to. Why even have parents at that point? I'm sure they don't want us to have parents.
Well,
but,
exactly.
But anyways, I said that, and
it's not just Washington. California does the same thing, and I think it's something it's disturbing to think about, but I think at least 15 states, maybe more, will now say the state can steal the child of a parent if they're not willing to do a sex change on a kid. It's a lot more gruesome than I'm saying it, but got to be careful with TOS and all that. All that to say, no wonder they don't want to go on. That is not a popular issue. It makes the Democrats look horrible, like the terrible, radical, extremist freaks they are. Ryan actually had Newsom on a show not too long ago. Gavin Newsom, governor of California, brought it up, and Newsom said, well, there's a lot of nuance. Started doing this dancing hand stuff. It was weird. He's clearly just trying to obfuscate the conversation, distract, because you can't defend it. It's evil.
And, they were like, it got to the point where I just said, look, I don't even care. I was like, how about you just give me the outline and we'll do it that way. I don't care. Like, I know how to do an interview and I'll make it work. And I'll find my groove and whatever you give me. I'm confident in my abilities, and they were going to do it. And then the Brett Baer interview came out with her, and it just fell off the map. They just quit talking to us. So I don't know.
Is Brett asked her like a single question she didn't feel like answering?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it was.
How do you think it would have gone?
I think it would have gone no matter what they handed me for the outline or if I created my own outline, that the questions would have been blaming Trump for everything, even if it was nothing to do with the question. I think it would have just been Trump did this, Trump did that. What about Trump? Trump, and I don't think I would have gotten any of her views or solutions or initiatives or anything. I think it would have all been just flipped around and pointed back at Trump.
Of course, that was Kamala Harris's entire campaign after all. Trump bad, Orange Man bad, Dorito Cheeto, no good. We want to get a different snack. Old walnut like Joe Biden and me, the Jamaican Indian. Who's black. Yeah. What a disaster. Thank God that is over. Thank God she lost. With all that being said, folks, thank you for tuning in. We truly appreciate it. As always, please be sure to comment on our video. Let us know what you liked, what kind of stuff you want to see in the future, and if you have not already, hit that subscribe button down below, and we will see you again soon. God bless you.